Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a genuinely incredible biomedical innovation pitch called ShellBone. This was presented by Ayappan Ah from Dhanalakshmi Srinivasan University, and let me tell you, it is not just another incremental medical update. We're looking at a visionary startup project tackling two massive global crises at the exact same time. It's this perfect convergence of biomaterial science, sustainability, and advanced manufacturing that could totally change the future of healthcare. So let's just jump right into the problem they're solving.
Okay, so we're starting off with a pretty jarring reality on the environmental front. Just look at the scale of this issue. Every single year, literally millions of tons of discarded marine shell waste are just dumped by the seafood industry. And this doesn't just create a severe coastal pollution hazard, it's a massive missed opportunity. The hidden tragedy here is the sheer waste of valuable, natural calcium resources that are basically just left to rot on our shorelines.
Now, at the exact same time, over in hospitals and orthopedic clinics worldwide, millions of patients are facing a completely different kind of crisis: the global bone repair challenge. We're talking about folks suffering from complex bone fractures, severe bone defects from trauma injuries, and degenerative conditions like osteoporosis and bone loss. All of these patients urgently need bone grafts and regeneration treatments just to regain their mobility and, really, their quality of life. Now, you might be wondering, wait, don't we already have bone grafts for this? Well, we do, but current treatments fall drastically short of what healthcare actually needs today. Traditional solutions, they're incredibly expensive. They suffer from really limited donor availability, meaning there just isn't enough supply out there to meet the global demand. And worse yet, they carry high biological risks. We're talking severe infection risks, immune rejection, and complex surgical complications. Healthcare is desperately crying out for an affordable, sustainable, and much safer alternative.
Which brings us to introducing ShellBone, the biomedical convergence. This innovation asks a really profound question. What if the solution to our medical supply chain crisis is literally just sitting there as pollution on our coastlines? Well, the secret lies in the shells themselves. It turns out your skeleton actually has a lot more in common with the trip to the beach than you might think. Get this. Marine shells naturally consist of 95 to 99% calcium carbonate. That is a massive, incredibly pure, and largely untapped biomedical resource just waiting to be utilized. So through some highly advanced chemistry, that seashell calcium carbonate is converted into hydroxyapatite. If you look at the molecular breakdown here, calcium, phosphorus, oxygen, this is the exact primary mineral that makes up your own bones. Because it's chemically identical to human bone mineral, the body naturally recognizes it as its own. And that is absolutely crucial because it dramatically reduces the risk of immune rejection. So how are they actually pulling this off? The workflow kicks off with Phase 1, material preparation. It starts right at the source, collecting those discarded seashells from the seafood industries. Next, those shells go through a super rigorous cleaning and processing phase to strip away any impurities. And that leads to the highly controlled extraction of that vital raw calcium carbonate powder. From there, we dive into Phase 2, which is where the advanced manufacturing takes over. That raw powder is synthesized into the biomedical-grade hydroxyapatite we just talked about. But they don't stop at just the raw material. Using computer-aided design, or CAD, they map out personalized, highly complex 3D bone scaffold models. Then, those digital models are physically brought to life using cutting-edge 3D printing technology. This means they aren't just churning out generic implants. They can print a bone scaffold customized to the exact shape of a patient's specific injury. How cool is that? Now, the crucial takeaway here is the expected biomedical performance. Notice that porosity metric right there, 50 to 75%. That is intentionally designed that way so that new human blood vessels and bone tissue can physically grow right through the 3D scaffold. It's like a lattice for your body to build upon. Combined with high biocompatibility and high osteoconductivity, which basically just means it actively encourages new bone growth, this concept stage biomaterial promises some incredible medical outcomes. Plus, it manages to keep production costs low and sustainability remarkably high. Ultimately, this creates a beautiful, dual-impact innovation. On one side of the equation, we're seeing a tangible reduction in marine coastal pollution and some serious resource recycling. And then on the exact flip side, we are vastly improving healthcare access. We're talking better bone healing, affordable treatments, and accelerated patient recovery. It is a huge win for the oceans and an equally massive win for global health. When you stack it all up, the ShellBone competitive advantages are pretty undeniable. By transforming waste into this high-value healthcare innovation, the solution is highly sustainable, eco-friendly, and surprisingly low cost.
It completely bypasses the biological risks of limited donor grafts because, like we said, it's highly biocompatible. Furthermore, taking this 3D printing approach means the manufacturing is completely scalable and infinitely customizable for patient-specific healthcare. It really is the ultimate realization of the circular economy in medicine.
Now, to actually bring this ambitious vision to life, the project outlines a rigorous 5-phase roadmap. It starts off in the lab, with feasibility studies and early prototypes, pushing all the way through rigorous lab validation and testing. The ultimate hurdle, of course, is going to be phase 4, the preclinical and clinical trials. Getting through those successfully is what paves the way to phase 5, commercial manufacturing and getting this life-changing product directly into hospitals where it can do the most good.
Healing bones, protecting oceans, building the future. That is the driving vision behind the ShellBone pitch. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. If we can literally rebuild human skeletons using the trash left behind on our beaches, how many other massive global crises could we solve simply by looking at our waste not as garbage, but as the exact building block for our next great cure?